ahead. How many of you have ever heard this? You know, it sounds good, Tom, but I really need to talk to my bank, my partner, my accountant. How many of you have ever heard that? We know they're going to say that, so we must develop a presentation to overcome it. Now, what I'd like you to do joining us via television is I'd like you to come right in here with me as if you were the merchant. I am the Card Service International professional representative. I've done a wonderful presentation. I did a test close, got positive results. I then did a minor closing question. I have now got my application out, and we are ready to go. And suddenly you say to me, Tom, I really need to talk to my partner. Well, I want you to just smile and say, John, I understand. In fact, I agree that it's wise to consult those people you rely on for advice when making a business decision. Would your partner be available now so I may answer any questions they might have? You see, one of your goals is to realize oftentimes they say this kind of just like a stall. Many of them don't really mean it. It's a nice way because, see, you're so nice. Now, please realize, the more they like you and feel good about you, the more difficult it is for them to get rid of you. You with me on that? You know, if you're not nice, they have no challenge. Look, I don't think we're ready to go ahead, and you're awful pushy, pal. Get out of my place. You see, that's because you're not a pro. But if they like you, they trust you, you've followed all the steps I'm teaching you, they will nicely find ways to possibly procrastinate. So many of them just need a little more help. So really work on that presentation. Here's another one. Try this one. When they say, well, we need to talk to our partner. Just say, great. Let's call him now and arrange a time when we can all meet together to discuss the benefits we've covered here today. See, one of your goals is for you to go with them. The reason is there's no way they can ever give your presentation to a partner or a bank. If this is a sizable account and one you're really interested in and you're focused in it, you do whatever necessary to get in front of the decision makers. That's a commitment champions always make. All right? Here's another way. You might try this. Ready? He says, well, I really need to talk to my partner. You just smile and say, John, I'm curious. Do you always consult with your partner on every business decision you make? Now here again, if that was just a stall, he'll think back, no, I've made decisions without him. If he says no, then say, you know, he's going to be thrilled with what we're going to do for you. In fact, what do you think he would say if he was here for the last half hour? Well, I bet he'd go ahead. Well, then don't you think we should do what you both would agree on doing? Let's just put it all down and see how it looks, okay? And then you move to the minor closing question, okay? Let's go to another one. Now, there will always be a concern we have to learn to handle, and that concern is money. In fact, bottom line, if a person's not saying yes to you, we talked about the word fear earlier, but I'll guarantee in one way or another, the money is causing fear. So be ready for that. Let's say all of a sudden he says, you know, Tom, I don't know, that percentage of all of our transactions, I don't know, I just feel that might cost too much. Now when he says that, I want you to warmly say, John, today most things do. Can you tell me about how much too much you feel it is? You see, what I want you to do is get an amount of money that's too much. Let's say hypothetically we're looking at a $49.50 per month investment. And of course, if he says that after your presentation, we might have a flaw because I don't see how he could say that based on the benefits he gets by doing business with us. But let's say he does. Well, just smile and say, John, you know, today most things do. Can you tell me about how much too much you feel it is? Now we're going to get him to give us an amount of money. Now that response, it's in your workbook. I hope everyone in Card Service International will have it down pat. Whenever we hear it costs too much, let's all say it together. Today, most things do. Can you tell me about how much too much you feel it is? And now we're going to get an amount that allows us to isolate the money as the only reason they're not going ahead, and then we're going to learn how to handle that money objection. All right? Or you might hear him say this. Boy, this, I'm sure you've all heard this. You know, I'm really with another company. And let's say you didn't qualify. Let's say he hits you with that when you first walk in. Maybe we haven't done the entire presentation. Try this phraseology when they say they're doing business with another company. Just warmly say, John, that's wonderful. Then you understand the value of your business providing transaction processing services to your clients. Well, yeah, obviously, because we're doing business with another company. May I ask what company you're with? Get the company that he's with. Or you might say, and what equipment do you currently use? Let's find out what they're using. Then you warmly say, John, if you don't mind my asking, would you share with me the major factors that made you go with that company for your processing needs? Okay? Ask them why they went with them. Well, we felt they were, or he was the first one that came in, or whatever. And then you warmly say, and John, were you the one who made that final decision to go with them? Well, yeah, I'm the owner. Of course I did. Then you warmly say, John, I'm certain you did a lot of research before making this important decision, didn't you? Well, yeah, we did. Then you say, was Card Service International one of the firms you considered getting involved with at that time? You know, we really never talked to anyone from your company. And if they say if not, then you say, well, perhaps it was because you just didn't know about us. And for that, I apologize. Many of my merchants have found that the exceptional service that we at Card Service International provide was well worth making a change. If all the research you did proved to be so valuable when choosing your existing company, doesn't it at least make sense to do a little research now to see if you can save money and get better service than you're receiving at this point? And by the way, John, I know you wouldn't want to miss out on any services that we could provide to help you grow your business to a new level. Don't you agree? Oh, I'd love you to learn that presentation. It's right there in your book. Please realize these words we have honed, we have researched, they will work for you. You have to focus on what they like most about the other company. And then, of course, what Card Service International does better along those lines. And there's a warning here now. Never knock the competition. Oh, yes, we'll outproduce them. We will have a better presentation. We will beat the competition. But we never blatantly knock the competition. You see, there is a segment of the society that has this belief that if you blatantly knock the competitor, oh, they're not any good, you're using them? You mean they got their license back? There's a segment that says, you know what? I don't like people that knock the competition. So don't take that chance. Outperform them, outproduce them, be better, and beat them. But ethically, with integrity, you never need to knock them. And I'm sure all of you have heard this one. In one way or another, they say, you know, I tried this a few years ago and I had a real bad experience with another company. Have you ever heard that? Or they say, you know, I'm really not interested because of what happened in the past. Okay? Warmly say this. Always use the words, I understand. See, in a nice little nod. I understand, Mary. Would you share with me what happened? See, let her tell you what happened, and you listen. Then warmly say, well, Mary, even though it wasn't our company, Card Service International, please accept my apologies for your experience. Because you had a poor past experience, I feel even better about being here for you today. You see, Mary, the reason the word service appears right in our company name is because that's our number one focus and concern. Providing you the service you need to feel confident about transaction processing. I'm sure you wouldn't stop driving cars entirely if you had a bad experience with one brand, would you? She'll go, well, no, I really need a car. And your business needs to provide transaction processing to your clients in order to grow. So, would you at least give me a few minutes of your time to show you how we're different, why we're the best, and why we're going to help your company grow to an entire new level of profitability. How do you like that? I hope you'll watch that tape. I hope you will learn these words. You will love it when they all become a part of you. Some of you will hear this one. You know, I tried to get an account before and I was denied. How many of you ever heard that? When they say that, warmth now, right across the counter. Mary, I'm sorry to hear that. What was the reason for being denied a merchant account? And of course, listen. Have things changed since then? Well, yeah, we're really doing quite well. And they might have also add, but you know, I've lost a lot of business by not taking credit cards. Then again, I understand. So your clients are asking for services that you have not previously been able to provide? Well, yeah, and I guess I really need to take cards. That's great. Let's see how I can help you. Then she says, well, you know, I'm really not ready. Well, when do you think you will be ready? And let her talk about time, okay? Or you might warmly say, or Mary, what is your time schedule for opening your business, expanding to where you need to accept credit cards, okay? If she says, well, probably 6 months. Now, I want you to do a minor close here. Then may I have your permission to keep in contact with you between now and then? Perhaps I can provide you with some information and advice to help you get ready sooner. Please realize we never give up on an account. If not today, someday, everyone should be doing business with Card Service International. Right or wrong? Right. Great. You might hear this. This is a standard that they all come up with. You know, I really think I can get very similar services cheaper somewhere else. Boy, I'd love you to just smile and say, you know, Sue, I've learned something over the years. Most companies look for 3 things when they invest their money. They look for the finest quality, then, of course, the best service, and, of course, the lowest investment. I've also found that no company can offer all 3. They can't offer the finest quality, the very best service, and the lowest investment. And I'm curious, for your long-term happiness, which of the 3 would you be most willing to give up? The finest quality, the best service, I mean excellent service, or the lowest investment? Now, one thing I want to say to you, the more I study Card Service International, the presentation I've written here in a way does not totally ring true. You see, if I were to go out and buy a vehicle, and all vehicle companies are competing for business, they watch every dime spent to give the consumer the finest investment. They're competing for business. Well, if a company spends $10,000 to build the car and sells it for $7,000 to get clients, what will eventually happen? They will go out of business. So would you agree a company has to make a profit? Yes or no? Yes. However, if all companies are competing, the prices can't be much different to stay in business and offer the services. So the real key, and that's why our name is so important, Card Service is what we give better than anyone else gives. But in researching your company, I totally believe. And if you learn your presentation, you can look across the table and say, however, it's a phenomenon to find that Card Service International can give the finest quality, the best service. And when I finish, you'll see also the lowest investment. That's why I cannot leave till I help you see why we need to do business.